AA clash between Chaska-Chanhassen and Bloomington Jefferson, a special event tonight here at the Ice Garden for Ethan Glynn. How you doing tonight, Ethan? Hope you enjoyed tonight's production from YJH. How you doing tonight, Peter Odney?
I feel fantastic. The energy in the building is off the charts. There are so many people here. We're ready to get rolling.
How about the little Larson kid from Jefferson knocks one in with 37 seconds left to lift the Jags over Chaska-Chanhassen and Bantam.
The Jags win in their home building. What could be a better stage setter?
I love that. All right, let's set the stage here with a little some scores from around the state. I think you got for us. What happened?
We're going to fire away with the big one. Gentry Academy, number 3 in Class 2A, over top-ranked Andover on the road. A 4-3 win for the Stars.
Wow.
Yes, you were clearly not paying attention today.
No, I was not. I was outside watching college football.
Oh, you're
something
lost.
Ethan Glynn is a big fan of, so we'll get to that later.
A pair of fringe top 10 teams. Blake tops Northfield. A nice rebound for Blake after taking a thumping at the hands of Andover. Susie Higuchi and Sam Bros combined for 9 points. The Ivy League commits getting it done for the Bears.
Yep.
And number 2, Minnetonka over number 7, Stillwater 5-0. This game got out of hand at the end. The teams combined for 17 penalties.
Wow, rough decks.
Overshadowing Ava Lindsay's 5-goal performance for the Skippers. The Skippers should slide into that number 1 slot.
Got it. What else you got?
Class A, number 1, Warroad dominates. I shouldn't say dominate. That's a little bit of a misnomer. Defeat Orono 3-1. Riley Bartz, all 3 goals for the Warriors as number 1 Warroad takes down number 3 Orono. Holy Angels and Duluth Marshall got their tails kicked, to put it lightly, against Edina.
Yep.
The Hilltoppers bounce back with a strong showing against Holy Angels, but the Stars remain undefeated in their first game of the season. Not their first game of the season, but remain undefeated. 26 saves by Ava Bentley of the Stars spoils a 30-save performance from Duluth Marshall's Ray Anderson. Capping it all off, Proctor Hermantown over South St. Paul, 6-3, a pair of empty net goals. And
closer than it looks.
It's closer than it looks. 1 goal and 2 assists from Reese Heitzman in the Mirage's 6-3 win over the Packers.
And then tonight we got some band double action. We saw both of these teams, Jefferson and Chaska-Chanhassen last weekend up in Moorhead at the Blue Ox. I thought that the Jags did quite well. The Stormhawks won their first game and then lost their last 3, but to some really stiff competition. I'm looking forward to seeing this. Brian Sankey, the head coach for Chaska-Chanhassen, was the Bantam AA coach for Jefferson last year and the Bloomington resident. So there's a lot of good feels here in the building without even the full pack barn that we have here for the fans and for Ethan.
And we'll get into that after this break and a word from our sponsors.
Sports for Good is kind of just what it sounds like. We wake up every day, go to work, try to do the best we can, but also have in the back of our head that we're going to help people and try to make a difference in people's lives.
While it's important to do things for others, it's how you go about doing that day in and day out. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing about one team. I don't care who you are in this company. Everybody has an opportunity to make a difference and contribute to the whole piece of the pie of what we're trying to do.
Stress fractures in the foot, generally the pain is on the top of the foot. There may or may not be much in the way of swelling, but there's usually tenderness, meaning that if you push on the area, it is sore to touch. So if you've had a change in activity, been doing a little bit more and developed pain that hurts when you walk or certainly hurts more when you try to run on it, that's concerning for a stress fracture. Sometimes those can be seen on x-ray, sometimes it requires an MRI to decide whether or not there is a stress fracture there.
Jack's Cafe has been extending warm hospitality with a focus on great food for almost 100 years. Located in historic Northeast Minneapolis, Jack's has been a great venue for hockey banquets, corporate parties, weddings, and groom's dinners. With private rooms of any size, guests can have that great Jack's experience for 2 or 200. See you at Jack's.
Brewpub Lots and Matzo pizzas are made in the heart of America's Dairyland, Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Every Brewpub pizza is made with the highest quality meat and veggie toppings. Then bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Snag a slice of Brewpub pizza at the concession stand or enjoy a whole pizza conveniently located in the frozen pizza section of your local grocery store.
Brew back here at Bloomington Ice Garden. Tony Scott, Peter Odney, big Bantam AA clash between Chaska-Chan
Massive Bantam
and Jefferson. Let's hear a little bit about it. We saw them last weekend. What did you learn about these guys?
Yeah, I'm pumped for this matchup for one reason. Clashing styles. You've got the brawn of Bloomington Jefferson, the brains and the speed of Chaska-Chanhassen. Since the Blue Ox, Chaska-Chan snapped a 3-game losing streak with a 7-0 win over Stillwater, who finished the Final Four of the Blue Ox. A couple of players to keep an eye on for Chaska-Chan: Quinn Redding, Braden Soderstrom, and Tristan Wasson at Gesso. That trio combined for 17 points during the Blue Ox. As for Bloomington Jefferson, they carry a 4-7-2 record into tonight's game. The Jags go 2-3 at the Blue Ox and have not entered a score since a 5-0 loss against Rosemont last Sunday. Not saying that's been their only game. That's the only score in the now rankings. Players to watch for Bloomington Jefferson: Anders Bjorklund. He's got 5 goals in the Blue Ox. Big body.
He's all big. That's big.
They'll stick him in front of the net on the power play and pretty much any other time he's on the ice.
Too.
Number 9, Riley Corbett, had 3 points during the Blue Ox. And number 5, Mason Van Brunt, another player, a little plugger for the Bloomington Jefferson.
Pain in the neck. Right?
They're all a pain in the neck. Some of them are just bigger than others.
I agree. Well, I'm really looking forward to this game. A special presentation for Ethan Wynn, who's out in Colorado tonight. Ethan, hope you're enjoying tonight's broadcast. If you want to make a donation to Ethan, go to GoFundMe and look up Ethan Glynn on the GoFundMe page. You can make a donation. They're making major renovations to Ethan's house, and the money you're putting into it will go to a great cause.
I can't think of a better cause. I saw a little auction outside Rink 1. A lot of people signing up for it. Hopefully we can help the family out with some of these medical costs.
I think so too. I'm really excited just for the atmosphere for a Bantam AA game. If it's anything like the Bantam B game, it was raucous in here. I think it's going to be even more raucous. They got a DJ down there who I feel like I'm clubbing right now. Is that a word? Is that the right word?
It was a word about 15 years ago. I think you're a little behind.
Turntable down there.
Behind. Oh, Grandpa. And here in a second, we'll go to the broadcast. Thanks for tuning in for tonight's pregame show. For Tony Scott and Peter Odney, we will be moving into the broadcast in a second.
Let us tell you about Ethan. Ethan Campbell. He's a warrior. He's determined. He is amazing. Cheers. He's close. He's awesome. Always has been. Always will be. Together we can support you. We need you. We need you. We got it. We got
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to historic Bloomington Ice Garden. Have we got a treat on tap for you this evening? The hometown Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars and the visiting Chaska-Chanhassen Stormhawks. The Jags will be to your left on your screen, wearing black uniforms with that traditional Jefferson blue trim. On your right, wearing gold and a mix of purple and navy. I can't really tell. I'm a little colorblind. Are the Stormhawks. 15 minutes on the board after we pick up the pucks and say our hellos to everyone. We will get underway. A Bantam AA matchup coming right up in a moment. The Jags and the Stormhawks. We've got a full team on hand tonight. There are bodies everywhere, in the stands, in the penalty box, and in the broadcast booth. The Jaguars bringing a 4-7-2 record into tonight's game. The Stormhawks come in at 8-5-2, ranked number 12 by Youth Hockey Hub's Now Rankings. The Jags lagging behind at number 36. I'm joined on the call by color man Tony Scott. Tony, how you doing?
Are you calling the game, boss?
I'm calling the game.
All right, then give me the color.
All right, you have the color.
I just handed you the crayons.
You just handed me the crayons.
You're calling it. I'm the color.
We're ready to roll. The Jags wearing non-traditional uniforms tonight. Usually they have the names on their back. I'm sure that they have a special meaning for wearing these uniforms tonight, wouldn't you say?
I love them. All blacks. What do you got? What are you missing?
I need a Chaska-Chan roster.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I've got two Jeffersons. I'm pretty sure they're not playing each other. Lining up to take the face-off for the Jags, number 5, Mason Van Brunt. He'll be a player to keep an eye on as this game continues. His adversary in the circle, Braden Soderstrom, one of Chaska-Chanhassen's leading scorers from the past battle for the Blue Ox. We are underway. A shot from the neutral zone by the Jags, gloved and held onto by starting goaltender Grant Adderson. Adderson manning the pipes for the Stormhawks. It was a long shot, snagged out of the air by Adderson. Oh, it went so fast, I thought he caught it. Turns out he just directed it into the black netting.
We got a couple shout-outs to Ethan. Ethan, a huge multi-sport athlete, plays hockey, football, and baseball. I know his injury was sustained while playing football this past fall on the freshman team for the Jags.
Well, our thoughts certainly with Ethan tonight. Hope he's tuned in and watching his beloved Jags take on, I wouldn't say hated, they're a little young to hate anybody, but the rival Stormhawks. Well, I might not know as much as you do. Is this a District 6 battle?
It is.
There's a shot on goal. That's tipped high and wide over the net.
We sent Ethan some questions. They asked him, would he rather watch the Vikes win a Super Bowl or the Wild win a cup? Peter, before he answers, what would you say?
I would rather see the Vikings win a Super Bowl.
He agrees with you.
It's a bigger deal. Bigger deal.
I kind of agree, too. As growing up a North Stars fan, the Stars are still kind of my team. The Wild I still haven't grown accustomed to after 20 years.
Well, maybe if they snap out of their 500 funk, they'll become a more popular watching option for you. Shooting and scores! Chaska-Chan takes a 1-0 lead. A fabulous individual effort by, I believe, number 33, Landon Hubb.
You have a personal connection with Landon Hubb. What is that, Peter?
His father, Jay, was one of my coaches in high school. It looks like he got mom's athleticism after that goal.
And good looks.
And he'll line up and take the draw. He's one of those players. He gets one, he wants two, he wants three. It'll be tough to stop if the Jags can't put a body on Landon Hubb.
Landon played D in Pee-wees and came out in Bantam Elite this year and just lit it up, and I think forward might be his natural position.
I think forward might be his natural position as well. Certainly showing off with a beautiful goal to start. Here's Blado up to Huh, catches it on his back end, puts on the brakes, being chased by a Jag, swings it in front, goes off the skate of Jefferson's Darren Donor. And the Jags unable to clear. Loose puck gobbled up by Leo Stebbins. Stebbins looking for an option.
Leo's a name we know quite well from a lot of our off-season stuff. I believe he was the best defenseman in our now Prospects Combine 2 summers ago.
Well, he was either the best defenseman or the best camper. He's got a big personality on him and a real nice kid. Owen Matthews stops it behind the Jefferson net. Nice play there by Donor to put a stick lift on a crashing Stormhawk. And now behind the net, Soderstrom rubbed out into the boards. Picked up by Van Bellinger, wraps it around, but not out. There's a shot on net. It rainbows its way below the goal line. Big hit by Leo Stebbins, catching an unsuspecting Stormhawk. That was Nolan Warner who goes down, and Van Brunt will carry it out for Jefferson. He'll dump it in. Just over 13 minutes to play in the first period, which means we're just about 2 minutes into the game. Another big hit by the Jags. This time it's Blake Doshin. Comes from a very athletic family. I'm sure his brothers, if they're watching, will be happy to see Blake throw his weight around.
Did you know that Blake's mother, Nicole, is in the Athletic Hall of Fame at Bloomington Kennedy High School?
I have a half answer to that. I did not know that, but I am not surprised.
This is easy. This game is easy so far, isn't it?
Easy's one word for it. Mac Peterson taking the draw for Bloomington in his own zone. Landon right back out for the Stormhawks. Looks like the Stormhawks are rolling a little short on their bench tonight with only 6 players. Seven. Counting was never my strong suit. They're ahead to the red line and dumped in by the Jags. Going after it now is Gavin Grochow. Please correct me if I'm saying that wrong. Grochow, excuse me. Braden Haffer picks it up in the corner for Chaska-Chan. He can get it out. A little knuckle puck held in at the blue line by Teddy Lechner. Older brother Henry already making quite a case for himself as one of the top players in his age group.
Sophomore at Bull Angels.
I believe Teddy will be joining him there once his time in the Jefferson program are over. As Nolan Warner wraps it around into the middle. Another separation by a Jag, and another Stormhawk goes down. Working his way up the middle is Riley Corbett will dump it in. Going after it, Anders Bjorklund and Oscar Buckland.
Oscar's a good player.
A couple of non-traditional first names out on the ice for the Jags.
Traditional if it's 1951, maybe.
Well, in Bloomington, everything's kind of 1951. Shot off the half wall. That goes wide. Coming across defender Ben Ruppert. Clears it back into Rupert. I don't live here. Forgive me. Another big hit by the Jags. Jefferson throwing its collective weight around, but still trail Chaska-Chan 1-0.
Rupert's mother, Andrea, is a co-worker of my wife, Debbie, at St. Stephen, just down the road here in Bloomington.
And what you're saying is your wife and Rupert's mother do the Lord's work.
They do.
Heading ahead, Quinn Redding loses his feet. He's knocked down, and then he's catches a little extra from Sam Moore, and Moore will sit 2 minutes. And Moore with another big hit. Boy, Chaska-Chan.
What'd you say in the pregame?
They might not make it out of the first period at this rate.
Ethan has spent 27 days at HCMC before moving to the Craig Hospital in Denver. Hope you've adjusted to the mile-high altitude out there, Ethan. And I saw that your favorite college football team won today, Alabama, over Austin P, 34-0. Mine, Minnesota, didn't fare as well.
Boy, I tell you, that game was hard to watch.
Yes, it was.
That game was hard to watch.
Try doing it when it was 0 degrees and 20-mile-an-hour winds.
No. Come on. Letting everybody know just what a glutton for punishment you are. The face-off in the Jags end. Sam Moore will sit 2 minutes for roughing. He caught that penalty after throwing a forearm into a Chaska-Chan player when that player was already down. Big hit this time from Chaska-Chan as Braden Soderstrom works his way down below the Jefferson goal line. Off the wall to at the blue line. He's not afraid to shoot. Tries a shot that goes off the skate of Rogan Van Bellinger and comes out of the zone. A near turnover by He's working his way back into his own end. Mason Van Brunt on the pressure, and that's twice now that Hu's been picked off carrying the puck. Van Brunt loses the handle. Now Blado.
The atmosphere here is unbelievable.
It rivals Section Saturday.
I wouldn't say that good, but it's definitely better than a high school game. Almost as good a crowd as a Kennedy Jefferson game.
I would say this is better than Section Saturday. Not as many interlopers who have nothing to do with the game.
Everybody here cares, right?
The faceoff comes back into the Jefferson end. Goaltender Austin Matthews rotates to his right. 1:12 to go on the penalty to Moore. 10:01 to go in the first period. The puck is down. A little miscommunication between and Haffer about who is going to get the puck after the faceoff. Here's Redding behind the net. Redding throws it up to the top of the circle. Soderstrom just shoots. I believe that went off the face mask of Oscar Matthews, and here's a foot race between Soderstrom and Bjorklund. Bjorklund wins it. Bjorklund shooting off the stick of Grant Adderson.
I think that caught the stick of Adderson.
It caught just the knob. At the knob. Meet me at the knob. Landon will take it behind his own net and wait for everything to clear out. A very interesting power play the Stormhawks are running. A chance for the Jags to kill some more time off that clock. We're under 30 seconds to go, and the penalty to Sam Moore. Now Soderstrom carries it ahead by himself, dances around one defender, gets hung up by a second. The puck will come back into the neutral zone. Now Endries for Chaska-Chan. He dumps it in. Poor Grayson Endries looked up, realized he had nobody with him, and figured I'll just dump it in and see what happens. And Chaska-Chan going D to D. There's a centering pass by Endries, rejected and kicked back out by Ben Rupert. And Jags back to full strength. Buckland tosses it over for Stebbins. Stebbins spinning out of trouble. He'll carry it. Runs into Joey Wyant. And maintains possession. Flips it up looking for Buckland. No icing.
I still think there's a lot to be dealt in this game.
I would hope so. We're only halfway through the first period.
And we'll head to a commercial.
Brew Pub Pizza is specifically designed with the hungry in mind. It's big, it's bold, and it's outrageously delicious. Brew Pub Latte Mata Pizza is made with your favorite premium meats and veggies, topped with over a half-pound of real Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. When you're looking for the ultimate pizza adventure, when you crave a really serious pizza that brings the great Brew Pub experience, this is the one. Pick it up today at your favorite local grocer. Brew Pub Latte Pizza, the ingredients for a great time.
Boy, what a fantastic job there by our modified Sam Pony.
Love it. One guy's going hard, and one guy went soft. Barely even touched the crease.
You can tell who got a 1600 on their SAT.
Yes.
And get a whistle. We'll see how these teams respond to getting an extra timeout per period here. Who do you think that benefits the most?
I think it benefits Chaska-Chan. They got 12 skaters, so an extra blow each period is good for them.
No, I would agree with you, if only to get ice on those bruises. So far, Jefferson not shy about running the Stormhawks into the glass, into the boards. And
I mean, there's full student sections on both sides of the ice right now.
There are. Right now, I think Jefferson student section
one
might
team.
Well, I can't tell from one side's not wearing any Jefferson colors. The other side is decked out. I mean, right. I feel like one side is showing up the others. The puck is volleyed through the neutral zone. Warner chasing it down for Chaska-Chan. He wraps it around the boards. Nothing doing. Held in by the Jags. There's a chance. There's a shot on goal that goes wide. A little miscommunication between the Jefferson forwards about who is going to go after that loose puck. Leo Stebbins hangs onto the puck with his glove. There's a shot on goal by Van Brunt off the shoulder of Addison and into the corner. Now Van Brunt once again going after it. We will have
a penalty, or is it a delay? Penalty? There's a guilty party coming right at us in black and Columbia.
Penalty. Looks like that'll be Braden Thomas, who's going to sit 2 minutes for something.
We're not sure yet.
Not sure yet.
If you're looking to make a donation to Ethan Glynn's family, go to GoFundMe. It's the-Glynn, Glynn-Durkin-family. The Glynn Durkin family will be interviewing Ethan's brother Parker after period number 2.
Well, certainly stick around for that. For right now, stick around for the Chaska-Chan power play. The Stormhawks second time with the man advantage. A little toe drag by Soderstrom and a shot attempt. Nothing doing. Nice work by Teddy Lechner to keep a stick on him. Landon Hug goes down. And that's Andrews Bjorklund knocking bodies around. Here's Haffer on the half wall. Get it? Soderstrom throws it all the way through. It gets to Huh after glancing off a stick. Long shot by Huh, gloved and held on to by Matthews.
Nice save there. You know, this is a great thing we're doing for us and everybody in the community doing for Ethan. But you know what? You know what gets a bonus out of this? The 15, 14 kids from Chaska-Chan, they get to play in a barn like this not very often as 13 and 14-year-olds.
Are you saying that a nearly packed Bloomington Ice Garden is nicer than a frigid ice box known as the Victoria Community Center?
Yeah, but with 30 parents, yeah, it's way better.
The shot by Redding, that's blocked into the corner. Redding taking a little long to get rid of that puck. Eventually it gets to Haffer in the corner. Off the wall to Huh at the blue line, gives it back to Haffer. Haffer working his way in, low shot, rebound too far for anyone to get a stick on it. Soderstrom working his way in, slides it across to Haffer. Haffer shoots, rebound in the air. Alexander Blado going for that puck. He runs into Leo Stebbins, who's up to 5 or 6 takeouts.
Blado also tried to throw the puck in the net there, and everybody saw it.
I can't blame him.
I can, but it is a violation of the rules. I'll look it up here between the next whistle. I have why you can't throw the puck in the net.
Well, Blado paid the piper. He got knocked over by Leo Stebbins.
And got a D-zone face-off.
Puck is down. There's a chance in that Chaska-Chan end for the Jags, but Stormhawks maintain possession off the draw. Into the middle, goes off a stick. It'll come to Stebbins. Stebbins hesitates. Playing a little game of ping pong with Grayson Endries, who will dump it all the way into the Jags end. Taken by Frankie Schmitz. Schmitz winds and fires. Not enough on it. Endries tries a shot. That's blocked by the flying missile himself, Riley Corbett. And the Jags will settle back into their 4-man box. There's a shot on goal. Still loose in front. 10 seconds to go. 6 seconds to go. In the penalty to Thomas.
5:49 to go here in period number 1. Shout out to Ethan Glynn here. Why is number 8 Ethan Glynn's favorite number? It's a really deep response.
Okay, well, do tell.
Simply my favorite number.
Well, Confucius couldn't have said it better.
I would have thought Ovechkin would have been a nice play.
No. I like his answer better. The Jags will hold on to it. Time will run out on that penalty, so Chaska-Chan may have the lead 1-0. The Stormhawks 0 for 2 on the power play. Right out of the box, Braden Thomas tries a shot. That's blocked into the corner by Leo Colombo. A loose puck comes right back out top. It's loose in front, and the Jags can't get a stick on the rebound. Mason Van Brunt working so hard in that corner. He's got bodies everywhere. Tries a shot from a bad angle that goes wide. Off the boards, held in momentarily at the blue line before it crosses over into the neutral zone. Taken by Endries. Endries over to Colombo. Colombo up to Redding. Redding not quite ready for that puck. And the Stormhawks will once again try to get it out of their zone. Landon Ha. Long pass over the middle to Blado. Blado over skates. Taken by Blake Doshin, who got it ahead, but it's taken away by Ha once again. I feel like I've said Landon Ha's name about 57 times here in the first period. And Warner into the middle for guess who? Landon Ha. He tries a shot. It's on net. That wipes out the icing. 4:35 to go in the first period. So the puck comes back into the neutral zone.
Still get the feeling that this place will erupt and start to generate some momentum for the Jags if they can get one past the Chaska-Chan netminder.
Right now the teeter-totter fairly even right after that goal by Ha. The game has kind of settled into a little bit of a slow volleyball match of I have the puck, now I'm dumping it in, now I have the puck, now I'm dumping it in.
A little bit of, I call it ping pong, what I'm calling a game. You know, Anders Bjorklund, I remember him from the Founders Cup when the Jags won 2 years ago. He wasn't fully developed. He was big, but he didn't move as well as he can now. It's fun to watch a kid progress from year to year, and I think he's going to be a real nice high school player for the Jags.
Well, he certainly looks like he's hit the Jefferson weight room already as Braden Haffer carries it in for Chaska-Chan. He's stood up by, I believe that's Leo Stebbins again. Oscar Buckland head up all the way, but he can't clear the zone. Stormhawks looking for a little give and go as Chaska-Chan's Caden Farmer. I believe this might be Caden's first or second shift of the period. Colombo at the blue line. He drops it down. It'll be Farmer. Farmer to Haffer. Haffer spinning away from trouble and runs right into Anders Bjorklund. As I was saying, I believe Anders has hit the weight room a little bit. I asked one of his teammates, hey, how much does Anders bench? The kid didn't have an answer for me, but I'd be willing to bet it's over 250 pounds.
He's a big boy, that's for sure.
One of several in this Jefferson lineup. Face-off will be in the Jefferson end to the right of Owen Matthews and Rogan Van Bellinger. Taking a draw for the Jags. Eventually the puck comes out. As Haffer chips it into the middle. Haffer, Soderstrom, and Farmer, the forward line from Chaska-Chan. Another big hit
for the Jags. We'll see if Chaska-Chan can keep taking these bruises. Tipped by Farmer. And puck rolling like a wagon wheel into the Jag end. Waiting for it. A bit of an errant pass there by Jefferson's Darren Donor, very nearly resulting in a chance for Chaska-Chan.
I would have chosen a different word. Dangerous.
Dangerous. Oh, well, I don't want to put myself in a position where I might stutter or my voice might crack. I'm going to need my albuterol inhaler here in a minute. Wraps it through the neutral zone. It's stopped by Matthews after icing was waved off. Sam Moore run into the wall, and the Stormhawks beginning to answer physically. That's Joey Wyant. There's a chance in front. Too high for the Stormhawks. And Joey Wyant will want that one back, but he's got a chance at it now. A centering try that goes all the way through, and it cannot be held in by Gavin Anderson.
I feel like there was a goaltender for Chanhassen High School a couple years ago, last name Wyant.
If we had a research staff, I would ask the research staff to find that, but we don't. So maybe we'll check at the period break. The Jags sending it in now. Gavin Anderson going behind the Chaska-Chan net, being harassed by a pair of Jags. My microphone being adjusted once again by Greg Tinty. Thank you, Greg. Kicked ahead by Redding. Redding centering. They'll be there, and Blado pops in and he scores! Alexander Blado dropping down from the top of the circle, finds a loose puck. Hey, Ma, look what I found. Flips it over Matthews. The Stormhawk lead is now 2-0.
Too many golden opportunities in front for Matthews to stop them all. That was another one. We've seen 4 or 5 loose biscuits in front of the net. For Chaska-Chan, they finally converted on one and to make it 2-0.
If I'm a Jefferson defender, I'm patting Owen on the shoulder saying, hey, I'm sorry. We all just kind of blew by the front of the net and left the kitchen wide open. And the Jags in a 2-0 hole with 1:45 to go in the first period. Stormhawks back in possession. Soderstrom carrying it ahead. Chips it into the middle. Nice move by Soderstrom. He's working his way around. Got it to Blado. Blado tries to go back to Soderstrom. Soderstrom to the point. Here's a long shot, and it's in! Leo Colombo from a different area code beats Matthews low. The lead for Chaska-Chan is now 3-0.
And again, nothing Matthews could do about that one. I mean, he's totally screened, had his stick down, and somehow, like a seeing eye single, made it between the 5-hole, and it's 3-rip Stormhawks.
Jags just didn't get out to the D in time to get a stick on it. No pressure for Colombo. He winds, fires. Sometimes it's not the velocity, it's the placement. And Leo's shot proves my theory correct. And tapped ahead. Here's a chance for Gavin Grotchow in the middle. And Mac Peterson overskates. Leo Stebbins. I was going to say put a defender on skates, but that would be a bit redundant seeing as we're playing hockey. Now Blado holds it in. Mac Peterson unable to get it out. Centering try in front by Huh, and it goes off the side of the cage. Another centering try. That one goes wide. We've entered the final minute of play here in the first period. Bjorklund and Van Brunt back out on the ice for the Jags. Penalty is over. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Van Brunt dumps it in. Will be gathered up by Grayson Endries. Endries dances around one man, ends up turning it over. Here's a chance, bouncing puck. Van Bellinger has a centering pass. It ends up in the breadbasket of Leo Colombo. Jags held the zone momentarily, but the puck ends up on the stick of Landon Huh. Huh will carry it in. Looks like it's going to be 1-on-4. Huh versus 4 Jags. Huh tries a centering pass, nobody home. Blado up to the top, shooting was off the side of Redding, and too high. 7:30 to go in the third period. We are at the halfway point of the final frame. And a 2-on-2 chance for Jefferson. Thomas over to Buckland. Buckland, beautiful move by Buckland. Let's see what he can do with it. He drops it to Thomas down low. Thomas setting up in the corner, bad angle shot, blocked away by Adderson. Held in at the line by Lechner. Lechner gets it to Buckland. Buckland dumps it in. Going after it is Mac Peterson. Peterson over skates just for a moment. Ends up in his skates. Right to the top. Lechner winding, firing. Blocked by a Chaska-Chan skater, and Quinn Redding will carry it out.
Good chance there for Lechner. He's Redding on the backhand. He goes down and into the Jaguar net. We'll have a word from one of our sponsors as our shovelers head out onto the ice.
Brew Pub Pizza is specifically designed with the hungry in mind. It's big, it's bold, and it's outrageously delicious. Brew Pub Lotta Mozza Pizza is made with your favorite premium meats and veggies, topped with over a half-pound of real Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. When you're looking for the ultimate pizza adventure, when you crave a really serious pizza that brings the great Brew Pub experience, this is the one. Pick it up today at your favorite local grocer. Brew Pub Lotta Mozza Pizza, the ingredients for a great time.
Welcome back, folks. 6:43 to go in the third period. The Jaguars are on the board here at home at the Bloomington Ice Garden. Chaska-Chan's lead is 4-1. As I said, 6:43 to go in the period. Tony Scott, what do the Jags have to do to pop 3 home before time runs out?
Pull a goalie here in about 2 minutes. That's what I would do.
All right, settle down, Patrick Wall. We're not pulling the goalie with 5 minutes to go.
Okay, we're not 5 minutes to go, but they need to make something happen here.
A little outside the box thinking. Maybe you start sending a player high in the offensive zone.
For sure. If they get that extra ball, that helps to get your first line out there, you know.
Certainly. Maybe they'll start going with... you like to mix up the lines throughout the game. You want to keep your team balanced. You want to have consistency. Well, right now they got their 5 horses out there. They got their gag line, their get a goal line out there.
They do.
Stebbins, Van Brunt, Bjorklund, Corbett, and I believe... Who is that down there? Darren Donor. There's a shot stopped by Matthews.
You know, Matthews has had a really good game today.
He has. Saved for a seeing eye single from the blue line by
Colombo.
That was the only
stinker.
And a breakaway by Huzz. Riley Corbett races the puck all the way down, and boy, your heart just breaks when you see a kid nearly kill himself getting that puck, and it's blown dead.
Had that been the NCAA or NHL, what would have been the call? They would have waved.
You would have beat it.
I mean, that's why I like that rule. It's a good rule. It's a safety thing too. It makes players be more safe. I like that rule, the hash mark rule.
You know, speaking of safety, I wish they brought back that mandatory stop sign on the backs of the uniform.
It's on there.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice. It was too small. It was Oscar Buckland. Here he comes down the right-hand side at the dot. Shooting. Anderson doesn't know where it is. And it ends up under his pads.
I hit his arm. It came into there, into his grasps there. Last question about Ethan. You think he's a Stranger Things guy or a Doctor Who guy?
Doctor Who.
Stranger Things.
Okay.
Stranger Things.
Doctor Who would have been a stretch.
Yeah,
I
thought so too, but you know, I didn't make the questions.
I'm not saying it's a bad question. I'm saying I would have been surprised if it had been a Doctor Who answer.
Yeah, we're under 6 minutes to go in this one.
We are. Joey Wyant holding the puck along the sideboards. Van Bellinger held it in momentarily off his glove. Whipped into the zone by Schmitz. It's still loose. Braden Thomas crashing into bodies all over the place. And it looks like Chaska-Chan has entered a little bit of a defensive shell. And as soon as I say that, Landon Huck carries it ahead, rips it in from the blue line, goes off the glove of Matthews and behind the cage. And the Stormhawks will get set up. Another shot on goal by Hull. That goes wide. And Bellinger cutting ahead, tried a cross-ice pass. Loose puck, got it up by over to Galvin. Galvin to Wyant in the middle. He's met by Jefferson's Blake Doshin. Nice job by Doshin, keeping his elbow down. Stormhawks go D to D. Content to send the puck totally cross-ice several times. Under 5 minutes to go now. Centering try, squirts through the wickets of Caden Farmer. Nobody home to knock it in for Chaska-Chan. Van Brunt sweeps it into the zone, chasing after it. Gavin Grachow. Still going after it. Braden Soderstrom spins away from trouble. Doshin still battling for it. Grachow goes into the glass. And eventually the Stormhawks clear. Stebbins pushes it ahead. Grachow gets there. He can't dump it in any deeper. It's intercepted. Here's Haffer shooting. Glove saved by Matthews. He holds on. Do they get a timeout in these games?
What's that?
Do they get a timeout in these games?
I don't think so.
Okay.
We gave them 3:30s.
Well, I'm just saying, if you had a 60-second timeout, you'd take it right now.
I'm not sure what the rules are on District 6 games, if they get timeout or not. I don't think so, because they played this hour clock thing, where they only have 90 minutes. Right. We were able to get the hour clock game rule waived to tonight's game because of the TV timeouts, the chuck-a-puck, the interview. District 6 was happy to waive the rule tonight.
Yeah, so it's a good time to say thank you to District 6 officials for bending the rule for us this evening. The puck is gloved and held on to. There's a backhand pass. Soderstrom up to Haffer. Chaska-Chanhassen going for a line change. Matthews tosses it over. Jags go D to D. Now carrying it out is Stebbins. Stebbins off the glass to Bjorklund. Bjorklund has got Redding pinned up. Stebbins comes out of nowhere, and Stebbins is going to sit.
All right, now will you give me permission to give Austin Killian permission to pull the goalie?
Sure, as long as you give me permission to say that was a really dumb penalty.
Oh, on Redding?
Well, they're going to give it to Redding. I can't believe they're going to give Redding a penalty on that.
Both for roughing.
You know, Redding got pinned up along the boards, and Stebbins kind of came off the top rope with an elbow into his head, so maybe Quinn just needed a little bit of a break.
Speaking of top rope, today at the Gopher football game, Ric Flair gave the fourth quarter woo! After all these years at the Gopher games, the guy says woo, and Ric Flair actually did it today in person. It's pretty cool.
Wow. Well, that's about all the Gophers have to hold on to at this point.
Ric Flair
wrapped around the boards. Chaska-Chanhassen unable to clear, so it's still 5-on-5 coincidental minors for Quinn Redding and Leo Stebbins, and that hurts both teams. Two quality players that are going to be sitting in the box. Landon Hunt working his way towards the net. He's so strong on his skates on the backhand. One whack, two whack, red whack, blue whack. And we've got a whistle, no goal.
I don't see any red out there. What are you talking about?
It's Dr. Seuss.
I know.
It's Dr. Seuss.
I know, Dr. Peter. Speaking of doctors, thanks to the doctors at the Craig Clinic out in Colorado for taking care of our good friend Ethan. He's in a good spot, one of the best places in the world for spinal care. They're world renowned for rehab and spinal cord injuries, so huge shout out to those doctors and nurses and everybody in between.
It's a one-time shot that goes too high. Well, that sounds like a match made in heaven. You pair excellent doctors with a fighter like Ethan. You couldn't ask for a better setup. The long shot on that bounces on top, and it's in. Boy, what did I say about live boards? As Galvin backhands the puck past Matthews, and that's 5-1 Chaska-Chanhassen.
Nothing he could do about that one. I mean, that was right spot, right time.
Goal. Galvin's Johnny on the spot, and judging from the reaction he's getting, I would venture to guess he was pulled up from the Bantam A team to help out with the shortage of bodies here. Yes, I do.
Okay.
Everybody's going bananas for him.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Love that. And there's Brian Sainty with a big hug for Galvin, who's short of first name. We're just going to call him Galvin.
Gal Galvin. Like Gal Gadot, but Gal Galvin.
There was a few African-born basketball players that played in the 90s, and one of them was Dwayne. And they used that was in their country. It was their first and last name was their last name was also their first name for their firstborn.
Wow.
There you go.
It's a nice reminder that things aren't always done as they are in the U.S.
Yeah, I think in Sweden they use the mom's last name.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Scandinavians, another penalty has been assessed to the Jefferson Jags. Mason Van Brunt, is that Scandinavian?
That's Dutch.
That's Dutch? Yeah, close enough.
Van Bellinger. Anything with a van in front of it is Dutch.
Or it's hauling children around to various activities. Van Brunt will sit 2 minutes. I believe the call might have been roughing.
Slash rough. Well, the stick flew out of the kid's stick.
Oh.
Hands, sorry.
That could still be roughing. A long shot blocker saved by Matthews. Puck bouncing down. And the Jags unable to clear, so off the half wall, centering to Colombo. Colombo snaps it back to the wall. There's a shot too high, too wide.
Colombo's had a good game tonight.
He has. He's got a goal, and outside of that, he's had a very nice defensive game. Colombo at the top of the circle gives it to Farmer. Farmer off the half wall. So injuries, Farmer, Colombo, Wyant, and Galvin, the power play unit. And there's a, what do you even say about that? Joey Wyant sends it towards the net. It might have been tipped by Galvin. It might not have. In any case, the puck, Tim Wakefields itself over the glove. Peter will go interview the player of the game. Here now after the game, I'll take over responsibilities of play-by-play. Puck goes behind the net, under 90 seconds to go in the game. Out to neutral, and we get a face-off. And both Redding and Stebbins will finally get let out of the coincidental minor penalty. Huge shout out to the DJ tonight. I'm not sure what his name is, but he's unbelievable. Put on a great show for the hundreds and hundreds of fans here at the Ice Garden. Rupert chips one out, and then back into the zone. We get another offsides. Jags will change things up. The referee literally had his back turned to the play, didn't see the three Jags coming on the ice, dropped the puck. Now we got it straight. Blado finds Redding. Now Thomas can't clear. Picked up by Buckland. Buckland gets it to Schmitz, intercepted by Haha, gets hammered by Redding, his own teammate. They're smiling, you can see it. Shot on, Anderson makes the save, almost covers. Picked up by Anderson. Anderson clearing attempt, held in by the Jags. Now Thompson. Buckland. Intercepted by Anderson, under 30 to go. Intercepted now Thomas. His shot caroms out. Anderson gets it down in the lower corner for Haha with a fancy little pass into the slots. Picked up. Buckland will have a one-on-one with Colombo to end the game. Haffer pushes him off the puck as the countdown begins. Chaska-Chan wins this one 6-1. Our player of the game will be interviewed down on ice level with Peter Odney. I believe we don't even know his first name, but we think he's a call-up from the Bantam A team with the last name of Galvin. We will find out what Galvin's first name is here in just a minute. Jags put up a good fight. We put up almost as good a fight as Ethan Glenn has put up in Colorado. Shout out to Ethan. One final time, give a donation if you'd like on Venmo at We Got You 8. WEGOTYOU8. We Got You 8 on Venmo, or go to GoFundMe and look up The Glynn, Glynn, Durkin, Durkin family. The Glynn Durkin family. To make a donation on the GoFundMe page. Now we are waiting anxiously. Peter is making his move on the players down there for a player of the game interview. Oh, he has found our Galvin. And we will go down to Peter in just a minute, waiting for the cue.
Ladies and gentlemen, the player of the game, Galvin Noah, had a goal today, and your coach tells me that you don't normally play with this team. Do you play with the single A team?
Yeah.
All right, right, so first double-A game in your career. What's it like to come out here and play in a double-A game, a little faster, a little more physical?
Oh, it's crazy. I didn't think I was going to play, and then I just did. It was fun.
And we'll take a moment here. Completed the prayer for now, first Bantam AA game, first Bantam AA goal. To get a goal like that in this atmosphere with this many people, how did that feel?
Good. I didn't even know I was going to score to that. I don't know how it just was there. It's crazy how many people are here.
Oh, well, it seems like you took advantage of your ice time. Your team got the win today. Thanks for being with us, Noah.
Thank you.
That's Noah Galvin, our player of the game. We'll send you to a commercial, and we'll be back with a post-game show right after our commercial.
Brewpub Pizza is specifically designed with the hungry in mind. It's big, it's bold, and it's outrageously delicious. Brewpub Latte Matza Pizza is made with your favorite premium meats and veggies, topped with over a half pound of real Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. When you're looking for the ultimate pizza adventure,
that day in and day out. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing about one team. I don't care who you are in this company. Everybody has an opportunity to make a difference and contribute to the whole piece of the pie of what we're trying to do.
Stress fractures in the foot, generally the pain is on the top of the foot. There may or may not be much in the way of swelling, but there's usually tenderness, meaning that if you push on the area, it is sore to touch. So if you've had a change in activity, been doing a little bit more and developed pain that hurts when you walk or certainly hurts more when you try to run on it, that's concerning for a stress fracture. Sometimes those can be seen on x-ray, sometimes it requires an MRI to decide whether or not there is a stress fracture there.
Jack's Cafe has been extending warm hospitality with a focus on great food for almost 100 years. Located in historic Northeast Minneapolis, Jack's has been a great venue for hockey banquets, corporate parties, weddings, and groom's dinners. With private rooms of any size, guests can have that great Jack's experience for 2 or 200. See you at Jack's.
Brewpub Lots of Matza pizzas are made in the heart of America's dairyland, Chaska, Wisconsin. Every Brewpub pizza is made with the highest quality meat and veggie toppings. Then bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Snag a slice of Brewpub pizza at the concession stand or enjoy a whole pizza conveniently located in the frozen pizza section of your local grocery store. Brewpub Lots of Matza pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
We are back here for a post-game show. It wouldn't be a post-game show without the beeping of the Zamboni.
Sounds like my alarm clock in the morning.
Almost like on cue, isn't it? You can hear that. Well, what a fun night. This all kind of came together in the last 7 days where we were looking for a reason to practice for our Friday night ice product that's coming out next Friday. And then there was this game that I had already made. YHH had made some donations to the silent auction down there, and then 2 + 2, and I think we made a greater number than 4 for tonight. Our contribution, as well as the kids from Chaska-Chan and the kids from Jefferson and all the fans, all the supporters. This is the second such fundraiser they put together. They're over $200,000 raised for the family. Let's get it to 300. If you can make a donation, that would be fantastic. Shout out to Ethan's parents, Corey and Cassidy. They're very involved in the sports community. We got to meet his brother Parker today. It was kind of a family affair. He gets to go out and see his brother tomorrow, so I'm sure they're going to spend Thanksgiving in Colorado. I'm looking forward to the Thanksgiving break. Before we put a wrap on the show, what are your thoughts, Peter? You're the one that, as an outsider, I'm a Bloomington guy. I live in this community. I'm a part of this community. I know a lot about it. A lot of my like we talked about, Andrea Rupert and my wife Debbie work together. So I'm very attuned to what's going on in Ethan's life. What was your take as an outsider a little bit here?
Well, I think your wife Debbie just summed it up. She said it felt like a preschool reunion out on the ice, considering how many of these kids that she taught. I live in St. Paul, okay? I grew up in St. Paul, and from a very early age, you learn that St. Paul is a big city, okay? It's broken up into these nice little neighborhoods, but it's a big city. And to come down here, the old joke is that Bloomington Jefferson is an Applebee's with 2 high schools next to it, but to feel the love in the arena and to feel a community sort of bind together and support one of their own, it's been a fabulous evening. The score maybe not what the Jefferson faithful may have hoped for, but it's been a wonderful night.
I thought they played hard. I played a lot of JV hockey, and to watch the Bantam Bees win in the last 30 seconds was a highlight for me, because it was kind of like the JV game. The Bantam Bees were playing for the varsity, right? All the students were already in the building, and they got to see the Bantam Bees win. And I thought the Jags played hard tonight. Goaltender, what's the goaltender? Owen Matthews he gave up 6, but he made 6 or 7 really outstanding saves. So I'm sure Owen and Ethan know each other, and I bet Ethan was proud of what he put together. A fun night. I had a lot of fun here tonight.
It's been a blast.
I learned a lot about how to put together a full broadcast. I think we'll get better at that for next Friday. I learned a lot about Ethan. I met his brother, and it was a fantastic night. I hope never to have to do things like this in the future, but when they do come up, if we as YHH can contribute, I'm happy to, as the owner of the company, to put our foot out there and make it happen.
I learned that I do not have a mental clock. I have no idea how long something is going. I have no idea how short something is. That's why we rely on Greg Tinty and his fabulous staff to keep us on point, and you and I can ramble with the best of them. So we're going to need Greg's swift hand here to cut us off at some point. But it's been a great evening. I think that Friday Night Ice, as we continue to get more comfortable with the cadence of a broadcast, it truly is a song and dance. I mean, there are notes you got to hit. There are high notes, low notes, and it's not classical. It's jazz here. So we're bobbing and weaving.
One last plug here for the donation to the Glynn family. We go to Venmo. It's We Got You, WEGOTYOU 8. And then for GoFundMe, look them up by the Glynn family. It'd be the Glynn Durkin family on GoFundMe. For our entire crew here at Bloomington Ice Garden, Rachel Lansdale, the boys down on the ice, sweeping the ice, Justin Moss and Greg Tinty and the 2 camera guys, yourself, Tony Scott. It was an awesome night and a pleasure to put this on. Thanks to our sponsors as well. We'll see you guys on Friday back here at Bloomington on Friday Night Ice.
But from the get-go, it was, hey, we're going to be a source of good in the community, and we got the Keystone program that we give away 10% of our profits.
It's such a core value is the philanthropic piece of this, and whether it's Hope Kids or ETS or Whispers of Hope, the Grief Club, basically it's set out that this is something that it's a part of what you do, and everyone has a lot of buy-in and is very excited to do it.
With an injection, we're usually trying to minimize inflammation or block a nerve to prevent it from sending a signal somewhere that causes you pain. So we're not actually masking any of the symptoms or the problem, but we are trying to improve the inflammation or block the pain signal so that people can feel relief.
Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas are made in the heart of America's Dairyland, Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Every Brewpub pizza is made with the highest quality meat and veggie toppings. Then bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Snag a slice of Brewpub pizza at the concession stand or enjoy a whole pizza conveniently located in the frozen pizza section of your local grocery store. Brewpub Lots of Matzo pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.